Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to make a Cajun shrimp and salsa sausage pasta bake. Right now I am working on my peppers and onions. I've got those sauteed in a little bit of butter. I'm going to go ahead and add my smoked sausage. You can do any type, and andouille was what the recipe called for, but I'm not a fan, so I'm just going to use some smoked sausage and some peeled, deveined, and tails cut off shrimp. So I'm going to turn my heat back on because I cut it off for a minute, and I'm just going to let this cook for just a couple minutes, and we're going to cut that off and set it aside because we need to make our roux. So I'm going to work on that next. Just going to cut this off for just a few minutes. I had to cut it off for a minute because I had to stop, and then I was afraid that my onions would burn. So you're only going to need 8 ounces of sausage and 8 ounces of shrimp. You can also do red bell pepper instead of green. I just had green, so that's what I used. And a half of a white onion. Everything diced except for the shrimp, of course. You're going to cut your sausage into quarters. And then we're going to move this. We're going to make a roux. And then we're going to put it all back together. And hopefully everything will turn out good. I'll see you back here in just a few. Okay, y'all. So I transferred the skillet over to the side and put a lid on that so that can get finished cooking. 1 tablespoon of butter, 1 tablespoon of flour. I'm just going to whisk this in. I know it doesn't look like much, but let's give it a minute. Okay. So you're going to let that sit there and get a little bit warm. We're going to add in some garlic. You can do fresh, but I'm going to do powdered. I'm going to do just about a teaspoon or so, give or take. And some Cajun seasoning. This is Slap Your Mama. So you're supposed to use about a tablespoon. I'm going to go about a half a tablespoon. I've got some family members that do not like the spicy, so we're going to kind of cut back on it just a little bit. Alright, now let me get my milk. So the recipe calls for milk and cream, but I'm only going to put milk in, so that's going to call for about a cup's worth of milk. And we're going to slowly put some in because I'm running out of time here. It's getting done a little bit faster than I need for it to. So you would do a half a cup of half and half or heavy cream and half a cup of milk. So I'm just going to do all milk. Sorry if this is making a lot of racket. You're going to slowly start adding your liquid in. I'm going to give it just a couple of minutes, and then I'm going to add some more. And we needed to reserve about a half a cup of pasta water, but guess what I forgot to do? So that's okay if you don't. It's not going to ruin everything. So I've got my half a cup of water here to add. So what you do is you let this thicken just a little bit. Just a little bit. Whisk is always the best to have for things like this. I need to make sure that I'm on my burner. I'm going to put some more milk in. And it'll thicken up in no time, so you're going to have to stay with it. This is medium-high heat. You need to stay right here with it. Don't leave it. Okay, rest of my milk. And then I'm going to go ahead and add my water. Now, because I added that water and the milk because it's kind of cold, you got to give it a second to heat back up and thicken back up. So it'll take just a few minutes. You just keep an eye on it. All right, now we have one more thing that we need to add besides our meat mixture and our pasta. Well, two more things. Now, I don't know if you've ever seen this before. It's like a spreadable cheese. So you can use Bergeron. You'll find that in your deli section of your grocery store. But the recipe calls for the one I just showed you. And the only thing is I had to get garden vegetable because they didn't have garlic and herb, which I really wish they would have had the garlic and herb, but whatever. So we're going to add this cheese to this. You're also going to add some Parm cheese. Parm cheese is going to be 1 cup. And then this spreadable cheese, you're only going to add about, not the whole package. So I'm just hoping that it's going to melt. So I'm going to add, this is a 6.5 ounce package. I'm going to add just about all of it. We're going to let it just sit here. This is garden vegetable. Like I said, I needed garlic and herb, but I thought this was like the closest thing to it. So I'm hoping we're not going to be able to tell the difference that much. And the recipe doesn't really state when to add this, so I'm assuming it's now. And we're going to cut this heat down just a little bit. I also need to add a cup of Parmesan cheese. And I buy that and keep that in the fridge for recipes. And of course I go run and get it whenever I run out. It's good for salads, all kinds of stuff. It's just good to keep on hand. Just keep it in your fridge and you should be okay for a little while. And since I didn't have the right soft spreadable cheese to add to this, you know, because like I said, I bought the garden vegetable, I'm going to add a little bit more garlic. Just to kind of compensate for that. And yes, I realized that we already added some garlic. But the recipe called for that. And then the recipe called for some cheese that had it in it too. So I'm going to add just a little bit extra. Not much, half teaspoon or so. Meanwhile, I'm just going to keep trying to... Okay, y'all, I've been cut off many times, so I've had to stop. Okay, you're going to take your noodles, your meat mixture, and your roux or gravy or sauce that you've made. Mix it all together in a greased 9x13 pan, 375 degrees for about 30 minutes. I'm going to cover mine, so I'll see you back here in a few. Okay, y'all, so this is the finished product. It did great. I did stir it real good before I took it out. Let it sit another 15 minutes in the oven, and then I took it out again just to make sure everything got good and combined. But it smells great, tastes great, and it's gonna work fine for supper. Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. Today we are gonna work on a very quick sheet pan recipe. This is sheet pan chicken teriyaki. And I've already cut up my chicken breast. I just cut up 2 chicken breasts. I'm gonna place them on this baking sheet. I did put a little bit of oil on this baking sheet. The recipe will tell you to put on cooking spray, but I really don't think that's gonna help. I think it needs to be something a little bit stronger than cooking spray, but you do how you see fit. Also, I got, it's supposed to be broccoli and cauliflower that we're doing. I got this from Walmart. It's 2 pounds of broccoli, cauliflower, and carrots. And I'm just gonna put these on here. The bigger ones, I may hold off and try to separate those. But the carrots are tiny, so I figured it'll be fine. Let's see, the really big ones we're gonna separate out. Hopefully, we won't make too much of a mess. Alright. Let me grab something real quick. So we cut some of these. I'm also going to add some green beans that I got out of the produce department, fresh ones. I just cut up about a little less than a pound, and I'm going to add that to it just to kind of have a little bit extra. Cut some of this up. You can cut some of this up or peel it apart, either way. But the cauliflower is definitely going to have some help. So it's just huge. Alright, see, it's not too much vegetables. It looks like it's a lot, but it's not really. Alright, so I left all that on there. I'm going to put green beans that I chopped up and some green onion. But before I do that, I want to get the sauce ready. The sauce is going to be some honey, some sriracha, and some teriyaki sauce. So I'll be right back. Let me go get my hair. Make sure y'all can see that. I forgot to mention that your oven needs to be preheated to 375. This is only going to cook for like 30 minutes. And you're going to stir it up like midway through. And I'm using what little bit of teriyaki I have left. You're just going to need a little bit of sriracha. And I'm not going to put much because my husband doesn't like it. So, and then I'm going to put honey in here. You're going to need about 2 tablespoons of honey. If I can get it out. 2 tablespoons of honey, half a cup of sriracha. 2 tablespoons of honey and half a cup of teriyaki sauce. Ugh, I can't get it out. And then a tablespoon, was it a tablespoon? A teaspoon of sriracha. So I probably still put too much. Okay. I'm just scared this is not enough. So I'm gonna add just a little bit more sauce. Hold on. Okay, so I have a little bit more some Kung Pao sauce, which I know we don't want the heat, but I needed just a touch, maybe a 1/4 cup or so, because I did add extra veggies and stuff like that. Okay. Now, before we, can y'all see? Okay. Before we put the sauce on, we're gonna go ahead and add the green beans. And like I said, I did less than a pound. And then our green onion is supposed to be added to this per the recipe. Okay? And I kind of wish I could stir all this together more, but so you kind of just stir it all up. 2 chicken breasts. And I think, let's see, you want a cauliflower and broccoli, about 2 to 3 cups of each. I did add carrots, which was not in the recipe, and I also added green beans or string beans. Some people call them string beans. Just to give it some more bulk, because I felt like it wasn't enough. And then I thought it may be too much broccoli and others, so I wanted to kind of mix it up. Okay, so we're going to drizzle all this over. Try to get this out without using a spatula. Don't know if I can. I'm going to try. So this is a really good way of getting all your veggies in. Normally, if I wasn't trying to save money, I would try to add more chicken or whatever my protein was. So I don't even know if this is going to be enough sauce. It doesn't look like it, does it? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and cook it as is. And then if I see that it's not going as far as I thought it should, then I'll add some more, probably some Kung Pao sauce because I don't have any more teriyaki. We're not real teriyaki fans anyway, and I wanted to use that up. So I did use it up, but I'm not sure it's enough. Okay. So you're gonna bake it for 375 for 30 minutes. Okay. You're looking for the chicken to be done, and these thicker, harder vegetables, you want them fork tender at least. So you're looking, probably the cauliflower is going to be the hardest one. Okay, stir halfway through. Don't forget. All right, I'll see you back here in a few. Okay, y'all. So this is a finished product. It did really well. I'm kind of shocked that it got done as quick as it did. I didn't think it would. But if anything, maybe the carrots are not as tender as I want them to be. I hate cooked carrots. It's like the grossest thing ever, but my family likes it, so. And then I seen that medley, and I was like, you know what? I can just get that instead of buying all the ones separate, because I didn't want to get like a whole bunch of broccoli and a whole bunch, you know, a head of cauliflower, and then cut all that up, and just for 2 cups of each, I would have had way more. So it's just cheaper to buy the actual little package. And then I was like, I'll just take the carrots out, and then I'll put them back. You know, I could never decide. So I was like, okay, we'll just do it because they're not that big. They're not that thick. It should work. It worked great. 30 minutes was the perfect time. And if anything, I may pour just a teeny bit more sauce over this before I serve it. But it seems like it did fine. Chicken's done. Everything's good. Okay, make sure you like and subscribe. I'll see you next time.
Give up everything that